All right, so our first guest is a Puerto Rican novelist who's been published in over 20 anthologies and literary journals across the United States, Africa, and Brazil. She's currently celebrating the 10th anniversary edition of her book, Daughters of a Stone, a story of an Afro-Puerto Rican family spanning 5 generations, detailing their physical and spiritual journey from Old World to New World. And joining us to tell us more about the book, along with the book tour, we welcome author Dahlma Llanos Figueroa. Hello and welcome.
Good morning.
Good
Great to see you.
morning.
Great to see you again.
Oh, it's great to have you here. An honor. Thank you for stopping by our studios in the midst of your tour. Congratulations on your 10th anniversary. Aside from that, I mean, just congratulations on making a mark for Afro-Latinas.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I saw an empty space that needed to be filled, and I felt that I needed to fill it.
And, you know, the beauty of it is that really you're just really speaking from an authentic voice, right? I mean, you're writing a novel, but it's just what you represent. And the fact that it's been, it's studied in the schools, it's used in colleges. I mean, let's talk a little bit about that journey.
Wow, that's a big journey. I, like most writers, sit in my office and write by myself with no guarantee that it's ever going to be published. So when it was published, it was a great celebration for me. And the book has been embraced by so many people, Puerto Ricans, Afro-Latinos, Latinos in general, African-American readers, and just readers in general, which is exactly what I wanted. Because even though this story is grounded in the 150-year journey of an Afro-Puerto Rican family, told from a women's point of view, it's really a universal story of people who come to the United States and make a life for themselves. And it explodes a lot of the stereotypes and brings to the fore just the lives of ordinary people.
And so, just in the era we're living in now, right?
Yes.
Isn't it sad that we're still kind of like dealing with something that is probably just as relevant 150 years ago?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I pride myself in trying to address universal issues. And I think that this book is as relevant today as when it came out 10 years ago. And it's a real prism of a way of looking at different facets of many situations, whether it's mother-daughter relationships, whether it's immigration, whether it's colonialism, whether it's enslaved peoples. It gives, I hope it presents an opportunity for people to have a dialogue without getting frustrated and angry and accusatory. It's like, let's talk about what happened and let's see what we have in common.
So, how much of your characters have in common with your real life? I'm sorry, I have to pry just a little bit, just a little bit.
Well, it's 150 years, so it's
right.
definitely not a biography, and it's not a memoir. But it comes out of the stories that I heard of as a child in rural Puerto Rico, and stories that I think every culture has a grandmother that tells stories to their grandchildren of the old country in Italy or Eastern Europe or Africa. Parents try and pass on the treasure of their culture to their kids. And the question is, what do you take in? What do you put aside? What will help you get to the next stage of your life?
And so, in this book tour, what do you hope to accomplish 10 years later?
Well, I hope that I'll reach more people than I did initially. I also love the idea of talking to people because, as I said, when you're writing, it's a monologue.
Right.
But when you talk to readers, it's a dialogue.
And I would imagine, like 10 years later, coming across people who have already read it.
Absolutely.
What kind of reflection is that on you? And how does it reflect on you, right? Because there's a dialogue that's now almost kind of coming from a place of being inside your thoughts.
Right. It's interesting having people read your work and assume that it's you. Sometimes you feel kind of naked standing there.
Right, right, right.
But it also is a testament to not so much me as my characters, who have touched people and continue to touch people, and hopefully will continue to touch people into the future.
For many years to come.
So it's great having a professor invite me to her class who was introduced to my book when she was a student, and now she's introducing me to her students. So I think that's a wonderful thing.
It's lovely. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So where can people participate in your tour? Do you have a schedule lined up?
There is a schedule on my website. I think you have it, DahlmaLlanosFigueroa.com. And we are still open to speaking to more people. I just spoke at Hunter College yesterday. I'll be doing some neighborhood talks throughout the Bronx, Massachusetts, perhaps even Miami, so who knows?
So what would you like to leave any young aspiring authors with based on your journey thus far?
Okay. I think the advice that I would give to all young authors is that there are many stories that have yet to be told, and they need to be told. I cannot tell the story of 21st century Puerto Ricans in New York City. That's a story that they have to tell. And I respect the voices that are coming up because they are our future.
Right, and at the end of the day, we need it documented. That's how we're going to be able to pass it on to the next generation.
Absolutely.
And thank you for blessing us with such.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right, you guys, once again, for more on Dahlma's book tour, you can visit her website by going to DahlmaLlanosFigueroa.com. We have to take a quick break, but coming up, we'll talk about a film bringing light to a birth control affecting a lot of women. Don't go anywhere.